This is our Costco business analysis on behalf of Carson Hake, Wyatt Nelson, Max Loven, and Gavin Strobel. For this project, we decided to take a look at the challenges Costco faces of sea freight shipping delays and increased trucker rates. A little background on Costco. Costco competes in the retailing industry, more specifically the warehouse retailing industry. Costco wholesale clubs sell a wide range of products sold in bulk for discounted prices, and customers pay a yearly membership fee for access to the Costco warehouses. The biggest competitors that Costco faces in the industry with warehouses are Sam's Club and BJ's. Sam's Club has nearly 600 warehouses across the United States and Puerto Rico, with locations also in Brazil, China, and Mexico, while BJ's has 245 warehouses in the United States, which are all located on the eastern side of the country. Costco also faces competition from retailers like Target, Walmart, and Amazon. And the advantage Costco has over these companies is their low prices and ability to sell products in bulk. We did a pest analysis on Costco, and the first peg of that is the political aspect. Since becoming a multinational brand, Costco has found itself in various political views and environments, and they've done a great job avoiding any affiliation with political powers. Costco has a great awareness of differing laws and regulations in different countries and has done a great job researching those differences and managing them and changing their business strategies based on those differences. These can become a big issue if they aren't continuously monitored, as laws and regulations are constantly changing, especially in different countries. Costco is currently dealing with expenses due to increased costs of shipping and changing tax rates between countries. But overall, Costco has managed these issues well and does a great job on the political front, but needs to continue monitoring these areas as they are constantly changing.
Now, the pest analysis for the economics of it is economically, COVID-19 has been one of the biggest issues, if not the biggest issues. COVID has hurt supplies, shipping, customers, sales, and so much more. And this has included in the cost of resources, which has gone up with inflation, as well as being more difficult to obtain. Exchange rates fluctuating has also been affecting Costco internationally. Analysis of the sociocultural would be COVID has done damage, but Costco has handled the adversity with ease and has emerged almost better than they were going in. The biggest reason they've been so successful is their retention and gaining of memberships. And leveraging their massive buying power, Costco is able to get huge amounts of bulk items on the low compared to other companies who struggle to get even a few items on their shelves right now. And then the analysis of their tech is shipping delays have been a huge problem for companies, but Costco has managed to find a workaround by chartering their own vessels. Chartering their own vessels has not only saved them time and money, but gets product on their shelf faster than anyone else, which allows them to sell and keep buying.
Now we'll look at the five forces in the industry. First, we'll go into the competition in the industry. Costco is in the retail industry, and that's always been known to be a very competitive industry. There's so many players and that are well established. Costco's biggest competitors in the retail industry are Walmart and Target. There are many others like in the warehouse industry, like we mentioned earlier, like Sam's Club, and Amazon is also quite an emerging competitor. Due to the wide variety of products and services that Costco offers, there's even more competitors than their biggest competitors like Walmart and Target. They have like travel services, auto services, their cafeteria. Like they have to compete with so many more businesses than all of the other retailers that it can make it sometimes a little bit more challenging for them. Another reason why competition is so high is that switching costs are so low. Customers can easily just simply go to a different store to get the same product if they don't feel like choosing Costco to purchase their item. Now for the next force, we'll look at the potential of new entrants. It's pretty difficult for new firms to enter the industry simply because, like we mentioned earlier, there's just so many established firms already that it's really hard for a new company to come into the space and really grab a big share of the market. The new entrants will need to be very well financed to enter the industry, because in order to get their name out there, they're likely going to have to market well, and just there's going to be more costs that they're going to have to incur. So it just makes it really hard because of all the other players out there, and not to mention Costco offers usually the cheapest prices anyway, so it's hard for them to offer such low prices. The next force is the power of the suppliers. In this industry, and especially for Costco, the suppliers have low power. Um, Costco specifically, if they reach out to a supplier for a product or service, and the supplier isn't willing to give them the price that they want, there's so many other suppliers out there that would be really happy to be a part of the Costco family. Um, they're so well established that most suppliers just reach out to them, and Costco doesn't really have to go searching for it too often. So that's pretty easy to tell that there's really low power for the suppliers. Now for the customers, the power that the customers have is fairly significant. They can easily go to different stores for the same product, like we mentioned for the competition. The switching costs are very low. Most customers have access to internet. They can find who has the best deal out there just by simply looking up on their phone at home, and therefore getting the customers into the store could be challenging if they just know where they're going to go before they even leave the couch. And there's so many substitutes available for all the products and services that Costco offers that sometimes that can be a challenge. The final force is the threat of substitutes. The substitutes is overall high threat in the retail industry. We previously mentioned as well that customers can easily go elsewhere. They can look up the places that have the best offer. We've already stated as well, sorry, that a major benefit that Costco enjoys over most other firms in the industry is that they regularly are the leader in price, and most people would choose Costco if they have the membership because of their low prices already. So there's our 5 forces analysis.
Into our group SWOT analysis, and more specifically the strengths and weaknesses of Costco. Costco has a very impressive and large buying power that other retailers can't match. This advantage is something Costco could leverage in its future to use for its advantage. Costco's brand recognition and loyalty is also something that's unmatched. They had about a 90% renewal rate in the US in 2021, just exemplifying the loyalty that they have developed. In the last few years, Costco has also purchased its own ships to help combat sea freight delays. This is something that could be leveraged to even a greater advantage in their future, especially with delays and extra charges for delivery. And lastly, their support from suppliers with their eagerness to work with Costco gives them a low exposure threat to any other suppliers, and allows them to charge lower value prices for items that most retailers can't or won't match. Um, Moving over to the weaknesses of Costco, their reliance on this factor is also a big part of their success with membership fees. It allows them to charge their low prices that they offer with a yearly membership fee that the consumers will pay for. However, if consumers look at competitors, Costco could face very big issues, as most don't charge membership fees. Um, Employee labor negotiations. Their employees are threatening labor strikes if a new deal is not met, and that would not be good for Costco, as a lack of employees would significantly hurt their efficiency and ability to run their warehouse. And then meeting consumer demands. Because of inflation and the rising costs of everyday products and groceries, you could argue Costco has begun to receive more and more demand for its products. This is great for Costco, but it also poses the threat of matching demand with supply. If Costco can't match the demand of its products with their supply, consumers could begin to look elsewhere for their products. Moving to the opportunities and threats of our SWOT analysis, their buying power as an opportunity. With many other retailers, dealing with the same supply chain issue is due to delayed sea freight shipping um, and increasing trucker rates across the country. Costco can utilize its massive buying power to come up with an effective solution that gives them a competitive advantage over other companies. And then looking at their vessel delivery that they've recently implemented during the years of COVID, they've already purchased 7 sea freight ships to help combat sea freight delays. With purchasing more ships to help with this, it would not only help them control most of, if not their entire supply chain that travels by sea, but this would also create another revenue stream for them, with many other retailers looking for effective solutions to this area. And then finally, looking at their threats in this section, the biggest threat is the loss of brand loyalty in the form of non-renewing memberships because of a lack of inventory or availability of key products. With the majority of Costco's operating profits coming from its memberships, this is their biggest threat to their success. Looking at trucking costs, as prices continue to rise, Costco will have to find a way to balance or manage how these costs eat into their profits. And finally, in this section, we're looking at competition. They also face the threat of fierce competition and availability of substitutes from other retail giants like Target, Walmart, and Sam's Club. And my last slide for SWOT analysis is the corrections that we would choose to make for these problems. So weakness corrections, the delivery fleet additions. Like I mentioned before, Costco has already begun adding more cargo ships to their current fleet to help ease any shortage of products. This will in turn beat shortages and meet consumer demands. They'll continue to find ways to keep products on their shelves by adding new in-house ways of freight and cargo via boats and trucking. That'll be a surefire way to help keep these supply chain issues on the lower end. Another issue that we were talking about earlier for the weaknesses would be the membership fee prices. Um, in the past few years, the membership fee prices have become increasingly higher. But we've thought of an interesting tactic to use, which would potentially be having a service fee for non-members. Instead of charging the current membership rates, they could allow consumers who do not have membership fees to shop within their stores but incur a small fee. This small fee could be as little as a portion of what normal memberships pay, normal members pay throughout the year. This way, Costco could potentially capture new consumers who may want to try their stores who have not before, because they won't have to worry about paying a monthly or annual large fee. Looking at the threat corrections here, remember research. To combat that brand loyalty issue that Costco focuses on, they can look at figuring out what their customers want. An interesting tactic to use for this would be research to see what they need to be changed or improvised or improved upon in order to make their customers want their products. Simple surveys or questionnaires can easily be added on the Costco applications or websites along with receipts handed out in store. And then finally, the last threat correction is specific shipping periods. A common way to combat high trucking costs is to ship on off-peak days. It is often cheaper to ship during the times where it is unpopular to ship. Most trucks drive during normal business hours, so it would be cheaper for Costco to use nights and weekends for transportation just to combat any of these extra fees that they're paying for delivery.